Hey everybody, Glenn here with another episode of Deviation Sports Cards. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. So, when I was growing up, I used to like collecting Marvel cards. In fact, I probably shouldn't admit this, like on camera, but I actually did a little bit of shoplifting of Marvel cards back in my day. Had quite the little routine going. I wish I would have still had those cards today. They'd probably be worth something. But anyways, neither here nor there. Obviously, CGC, which is CSG's partner company, opened up to grading Marvel cards, which I've kind of been waiting on. So I decided that I was going to try to send in some cards and see what happened. So I wanted to go through. I've got 3 cards here. 2 are Marvel cards, and then I got another Pokemon card here in the middle. And I'm going to be showing you the pre-grade process for this, and then I'm going to send these suckers in, and then I'll do a reveal video on the back end of this. So today is, the 16th of September, so I probably won't be posting this video until, I don't know, sometime probably in a couple weeks when I get these back, and then I'll edit the video to tack on the back of it. But I kind of wanted to show you the process, just so you could see what these cards look like, and then compare them to the grades when we get them back. So the first one up, I got this 1991 Impel Wolverine. These cards have been super hot lately. Now this particular card, I'm going to try to put the light over it here so you can kind of see. The front of this looks clean from a surface perspective. Don't really see any dimples, no print lines, no scratches, no nothing like that. I'll turn it over on the back side here. Kind of the same thing. You don't really see any major defects at all. Not even really any minor defects on this particular card. So, looks pretty good on us from a surface perspective. Now, what I did do is I went ahead and did some stuff in advance. So when I flip over here to this screen real quick, and you can see here, I went ahead and scanned this in and did the centering on these. You can see that left to right, the centering is really close, top to bottom, really close on the front. On the back, a little bit off top to bottom. Side to side, pretty good, but if CGC allows similar centering to CSG, then I think we'll be well within the range of a gem mint, which in their case would be a 9.5. I did look up the criteria on CGC, and it is very, very generic, so it's kind of hard to tell. What I also did was I went ahead and I took pictures of the corners. So you can see here, these are the 4 front corners. All of them look pretty sharp. This one here being kind of the exception. You can see it's a little bit dulled under magnification. And then here, you can see this one's got a little bit of wear here. And then from an edges perspective, I took a couple of samples. There's a little bit of chipping. You can see a little bit of chipping there. There's this little mark here on the back that I noticed that would affect the surface, and then you can see that there is some chipping along the bottom. Now this isn't super high magnification. I mean, you can see how big these letters are comparatively, but I do think that's going to negatively impact this card. So I'm going to go ahead and say this card is going to come back probably a 9 with an off chance of maybe even going as low as an 8.5. But I want to go ahead and send it in just because I want to see, on these older paper cards, what kind of impact this minor chipping is going to have. And then, like a small little corner problem here, like what impact is it going to have? Because when you look at the CSG criteria, it's really, really hard to tell, what they think regarding these, hold on one second here, guys. What they think regarding the actual, I guess, individual criteria, but I'm going to go ahead and pull it up here real quick. I probably should have done this before I started the video. But I'll show you what I mean. If you look at their grading scale, it's very, very, very generic. So I'm going to go ahead and switch back over here to the other screen real quick and show you. So you can see here that it's like essentially, you know, the highest grade assigned, it's like the one was no evidence of manufacturing handling defects. Okay, so it's definitely not going to fall into that. Oh, wait a minute, this is the wrong one. I'm going to go to trading cards. Card grading scale. Here we go. Okay, so here we go. So a perfect 10 is a card that received a grade of pristine 10, blah, blah, blah. So this still has like the old criteria, similar to the old CSG grading criteria. When you get down to a gem min, it just says this card will have excellent centering and exhibit only negligible handling or manufacturing defects. And then a 9 shows at least above average centering and only a few minor manufacturing. 8.5, a card with at least average to above average centering. The card will show small handling defects. So it's kind of, and then you got here small to moderate handling defects. Small number of defects. So it's really difficult to kind of tell what's the difference between a 9.5 and a 9. So that's part of the reason I'm sending this one in, is so I can kind of figure out, you know, is that chipping considered small handling defects? Is it considered a few minor manufacturing or handling defects? You know, how do they classify that chipping? It's really kind of hard to tell, you know, when it comes back to that particular defect. So I want to go ahead and send this one in, just even though I know it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I kind of want to see, you know, what does CSG or CGC think of those particular defects. So we're going to go ahead and send this one in. Like I said, I'm hoping this at least gets a 9, but you know, it's possible it can come back lower than that. Now the second one I've got that I'm sending in is this 1992 Impel Scarlet Witch. This is her rookie card, and if I go ahead and I do the same thing on the surface here, you know, you can see no scratches, no blemishes really. It looks like there might be something there actually. So I might have to try to take a little bit something to that. I can't tell if that's a defect or just the card. It looks like it might be a little bit of a dimple there, but hard to say. Now they're kind of wiped off, it looks like, so must not be a dimple. So I went over this card pretty good already, so you can see there's not really a whole lot of defects. Now, I will say, one thing that struck me as funny about this card is you watch all the new, you know, X-Men, not X-Men movies, but the Avengers movies, and Scarlet Witch is obviously a big part of that. If you look at, I mean, she's got like horrible power rankings here, but she's kind of made out to be like one of the most powerful people on the Avengers in the movies. I thought that was kind of interesting. But anyway, so you can see the surface looks pretty clean on that card. Now if we go back over and look at the grading criteria, you can see here I went ahead and did the centering on this. This has exceptional centering on the front, almost perfect all the way around. Now on the back, it's quite a bit off left to right. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle this with the back centering. So again, this one I think looks really good when we get to the corners. You see, you know, nice sharp corner, nice sharp corners. All 4 of the corners on the front look really nice. Over here, you got a little bit of, you know, I'll call it corner wear here. Other 4 corners look, or other 3 corners look pretty solid. Now, the only minor chipping I saw was right here along this yellow area. You can kind of see a little bit of chipping going on there. Other than that, it looked clean all the way around. So based on that, I think this card's got a really good chance at getting a 9.5. So I'm going to go ahead and say that my Scarlet Witch rookie card should pull a 9.5 gem. I don't think that little bit of chipping right up here under like super high magnification is enough to warrant this. I think the only thing it could potentially get me is the back centering. But again, I don't really know because it doesn't really say a whole lot about how the back centering is going to work. And then the last card is actually a Pokemon card. It's a newer Pokemon. Well, I should say super new, but it's within the last couple years. I don't really buy a lot of this stuff, but I'd pick some up at some shows. This one is actually a alternate art Mew V card. Let's see if I can get the... Yeah, I might have to modify my zoom on this one, man. Oh, there we go. So if I get this in the light right, you know, these are super shiny. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and modify the zoom here a little bit to see if I can get that to stay in there a little bit better. There we go. So if we kind of just shine the light on this here, you can see it doesn't look like there's any scratches, any real major surface wear. At least I don't see any anywhere on it. It looks pretty clean to me. And then on the back, no real whiting on the edges. No indentations, nothing like that. So I think this card looks maybe like a little tiny something going on down there. Nothing major, I would say. And then when we actually go over and look at the close-ups of this. So this is what the front looks like. Centering pretty good left to right, pretty good top to bottom. Well within what I would say is considered good centering. On the back, a little bit off top to bottom, but nothing major, almost perfect left to right. When you get into the corners, you know, obviously these aren't sharp, but you're looking for, you know, nice rounded corners with, you know, no wear or chipping on it. A little hard to tell in these pictures because of the light reflection off that, you know, really bright glossy surface. But all the corners to me look really nice. Back, same thing, real nice sharp corners, no chipping on any of them. The only thing is this little tiny white dot right here, which I would certainly hope wouldn't cause too much of an issue. So this card, I think, should definitely be a 9.5 minimum as well, just based off of what I'm seeing here. But again, this is going to be kind of a new experience for me. So like I said, I'm a big CSG fan. You know, I like these superhero cards, so I want to go ahead and send them in and try it out. So like I said, this Wolverine here, I'm going to play it conservative and say I think this card is going to get an 8, 8.5, 9. It could go anywhere in that range, really. It's hard for me to say. But with all that chipping around the corner, I am kind of concerned about this. Just from my experience with junk wax, it seems like CSG is pretty hard on that. Now the Scarlet Witch, it just has that little tiny bit of chipping. Other than that, the centering and everything looks fantastic on it from my perspective. So I think this card is a shoe-in for a 9.5. Probably won't get any higher than that because of that little bit of chipping, but I think it's a lock-in for a 9.5. And then this Mew V alt art, I'm going to say the same thing. I think this is pretty much a lock for a 9.5. So I'm going to send these 3 cards in. I've got a couple more cards that I'm going to send as well, but I didn't go into the great detail on it. The first one here is also from 1992 Impel. This is the Venom card. It's not his, I guess, a rookie card, for lack of a better term. I know they kind of have rookie cards back then. I'm pretty sure the 91 Impel is considered his rookie card. But this is in really good shape as well. Better shape than the Wolverine from the 91, but a little bit worse from a centering perspective than the Scarlet Witch, but I still think this has a shot at a 9.5. So I'm going to go ahead and say this will get a 9.5 as well. Then we have a gold rare trekking shoes, secret rare from Pokemon. This card is like actually got almost perfect centering. The back of it looks super clean as well. Centering a little bit off left to right. And like I said, I have no idea how they're going to play that, but I think this should easily get a 9.5 as well. And then this one here is a Hisuian Zoroark V-Star, also secret rare gold. Really nice centering, really clean card. This is out of the brand new set. A little bit of a back centering issue left to right on this as well. Maybe a little thicker on the top and the bottom, but nothing super significant. So I think this is a 9.5 as well. So essentially I've got 6 cards that I'm going to be sending in here. 3 Marvel cards. I'm going to say my expectation is 9.5, 9.5. I'm going to go 8.5 on this. Hopefully a 9. And then these 3 here, I'm going 9.5. I'm going all in. I'm going 9.5 on all 3 of them. So I'm going to send in 6 cards. I'm hoping to get at least 5 9.5s back. So I'm going to go ahead and send them in. Like I said, this is the 16th, Friday the 16th. So we're going to send them in, see how long it takes to get them back, and see what kind of grades we got. So we'll get the second half of this video taped out. So wish me luck, and I'll see you on the backside. Hey everybody, back with the reveal video. So on September 16th, I sent in a 6-card order to CGC. The first half of this video showing the process I went through on the pre-grading. So we're going to go ahead and reveal the grades we got here compared to what I thought we were going to get. So we're just going to get right into it. So first up, we have this Wolverine patch card from, this is Marvel Universe Series 1. And I had guessed that this was going to get between an 8.5 and a 9. In the first half of the video, so we're just going to get right to it and see what we ended up getting. And we pulled a 9. Which actually kind of surprised me. I think in the video earlier, I thought I would get a 9, and then I kind of backtracked a little bit in an 8.5 at the end because I was really worried about the edge wear. But we ended up getting a 9. So overall, pretty happy with that. Pulled the 9 that I was looking for. Second up, we have the 1990, I think it's 2. Let me take a look here. 1991. I'm sorry, the first one was 1990. This is 1991. Scarlet Witch rookie card. This one, I thought we'd get a 9.5. That's what I settled on. I was a little concerned about the back centering and some of the chipping up here on the yellow. And unfortunately, this one did come back a mint 9. So looks like the back centering, the chipping, and then there was like some kind of little mark down here that I wasn't sure what it was. It's possible that was a surface defect that contributed to that. So I was off on this one. I was a half grade high. I thought this would get a 9.5, and it pulled a 9. So that was the second Marvel card that I had sent in. And then number 3, we have the, again, from 1991 Series 2 Venom. This one I had projected would get a 9.5, and it did in fact come back a Gem Mint 9.5. I think that was really cool with the label and everything there. So pretty happy with that. Well, very happy with that, actually. Pulling the 9.5 on the Venom. Now for the Pokemon cards. This first one I got here is the Gold Secret Rare Trekking Shoes. This one looks really good. On all these Pokemon cards, I said they would get a 9.5. And this one did, in fact, get a 9.5 from Astral Radiant set there. So far I'm, 3 for 4? Next one up, we have the Hisuian Zoroark V-Star from Lost Origin. Again, Gold Secret Rare. This one pulled a Gem Mint 9.5 as I had predicted. So 4 for 5. And then the final card was the Mew Alt Art card, Mew V Alt Art card from Fusion Strike. And this one came back a 9.5 as well. So overall, I think it went pretty well. This is my first submission at SGC. I don't really collect a whole lot of Pokemon. The Marvel stuff I like. As I said in the first half of the video, I collected it a lot as a child. I was big into comic books at one point in time in my life. So I really enjoy the Marvel cards more, and I'll probably be sending some of that stuff in. I did recently get a box of Marvel Universe Series 3, and got a few cards out of that I'm thinking about sending in. So I think I got a pretty good feel for what CGC is going to be doing. Like I said, I did some pre-grading on these. It's a little bit harder for me because the criteria was a little bit different than what I'm used to from CSG or any of the other sports card grading companies. A little less specific in the criteria, but overall, I think pretty much very similar process. So 6 cards, missed one by half grade and nailed it on the other 5. So overall, I think the process is still a pretty good pre-grading process. Obviously yielded the results that I was looking for, so pretty happy with that. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure you give me a like and a subscribe. I'll probably do some more CGC videos in the future, so keep a lookout for them. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.